My student Ritesh absolutely crushed his first website SaaS sales call. I don't usually do this for all of my students, but Ritesh asked me if I could jump on his first booked sales appointment with his first prospect and help him out if he needed it. And so I agreed to jump on the call with him. He really didn't even end up needing my help. He did an amazing job on his own. Before we jumped on the call with the prospect, Ritesh and I had a meeting and we game planned over what we were going to talk about and offer. So I'll show you a recording of that first, and then you'll see the actual Zoom call with the prospect. And then afterwards, you'll see a recording of Ritesh and I talking about how the sales call went, things that he did great, things he could have improved on. And this was Ritesh's first sales call. He had never done this before, so you guys can do just as good and land clients like he is.
So yeah, just sent you over the link to the website he currently has, and he sent me a few examples of websites that he likes. And obviously, you know, with what we've spoken about around some of the automation bits, I've not really discussed it with him, but I feel like this is what we can try and sell to him. So yeah, this is basically it. Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So he's not pleased with his current website. He was already like in the market to look for a new one.
Yeah, exactly that. So this is something he built himself many years ago. And I think where his business has grown, he's now like, I need to have something which is a lot slicker, something that really allows him to showcase his work, and then something that allows him to kind of grow his business as well. So, you know, in his initial brief that he sent me, there was something around like, you know, oh, on the website, can you show my Google reviews? He's only got 23 at the moment, which makes me think like there's probably some kind of roadblock where, you know, he's not able to send out Google reviews, you know, so hence, you know, maybe we can automate that. And I think it's, when I look at his current website, I'm not sure if you've had a look at it, but it seems like there's not many call to actions. So again, if we think about HighLevel, I'm thinking, okay, you know, the chat box will be good there. Maybe like a calendar. He's asked for that as well. Maybe just a form that needs to be filled in. And again, from some of the stuff that you've spoken about in the past, you know, some kind of text messaging system as well. So yeah.
Fantastic. How's it going, Nick? Are you okay?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah. Yeah, good, thanks. Good. A bit disappointed with this week's weather.
Okay.
Jasper, yeah, as you know, the UK, the weather's up and down. So yeah, very disappointed with the weather, but otherwise it's been a good week. Yeah.
Cool.
Brilliant. Nick, I didn't tell you, but yeah, my colleague, I guess, Jasper is a developer that I work with. So I thought I'd get him on board with a call as well, just so, you know, we can discuss like the things that you're looking for with your website. I think what might be quite good is to maybe do some introductions. Like I can go first, Jasper, you can go next, and then Nick, and then we can go through just some questions that I've got for you, Nick, really, in regards to your business, the website, etc. And then obviously you sent me the document, you know, with what you're looking for, but yeah, it'll be good to just run through that really. So yeah, I mean, obviously Jasper, you know me, but Nick, you know, I've very recently started a new business where I'm creating websites and helping local businesses with, you know, their online presence, helping them automate, you know, communication with their new customers. And yeah, so that, you know, pretty much been doing this for like maybe 3 or 4 months. And then prior to that, I was at Apple for a number of years and worked for a software company before that as well. So yeah.
What did you do for Apple?
I was an account manager. So I was helping local businesses with setting up their mobile devices, iPads, iPhones, Macs. Yeah. Yeah. So I was there for a long time. Yeah. It's pretty cool company.
Well, I think the space that you've been, as a photographer, I'm aware of this because my photography is aimed at businesses, and I have quite a large experience with businesses. And my experience is, even though I have skills on a computer and I can find my way around things, that interface between, you know, creating these vehicles whereby a small business can reach out to their customers in an attractive and compelling way is not easy. It's not easy to put together the message or the message that you want to say with the text and the images and presenting those, and then getting out then out through the vehicles, whether it be Instagram or Facebook or direct marketing approach. Bringing that together, I don't think is easy. You know, obviously big businesses can approach big design teams and put that together, but small businesses can't. And so I really think that's a thing. And that's obviously with this space where, you know, the big people, you know, the platforms go in because they take that away. But it's miserable for small businesses to be dependent on those platforms because their living is dependent on an algorithm, and of which they have no control whatsoever.
Yeah, and these things change so much so often. So to stay on top of it, it can be quite difficult. And so
absolutely. So my thing is that I take photographs. I've been in business many years in different types of businesses, but I've always taken photographs, not professionally, but I have always taken photographs. About 5 years ago, I did a professional photography course. I started a small studio, and I've been struggling like crazy ever since. So now I've become much clearer about what I'm trying to do as a photographer in terms of earning bread and butter and earning money, and that's to aim my photography at the space I know best, which is business and professional. I like connecting with that space and helping people tell that story, much as I assume you do.
Yeah.
So the specialist areas in which I do real estate photography, I do portrait photography, specializing in corporate headshots, and I also do event photography. And those are the kind of three main areas. I put together a landing page. So when I first started, I just basically created a gallery website, which I threw together myself in Squarespace. And I quite like Squarespace, although it's a little bit limiting. But at this stage of my business, I have to go with what's practical. Squarespace is practical. It also gives me ownership. I can go in there and I can change text and change prices. And that's very important to me, to have ownership of that. I don't have to rely on somebody, their timescales and their budgets, what they're going to charge me, to go in and make small changes to the website. So that gallery website, not very focused at all, has brought me in some business, and people look at it, say, the main message, this guy can take pictures. That's obviously the first step, so at least I show them that. But now I'm moving away from that to a very, very more focused commercial professional approach, which is to create a series of pages which sell the particular product. It's very focused on that particular project. The real estate, which deals with real estate, a corporate headshot page, which deals with that, and then events which deal with that. That isn't there yet. I mean, I haven't created that, because I think my main line of attack, the most chance I have of bringing in income on a regular basis and approaching a fairly fertile marketplace is through the corporate headshots. I think that's where it lies. And so that's my next thing, to put that landing page together. And then once that's done, and I'm making use of that vehicle from what I've learned from creating that vehicle and what it gives me and perhaps its limitations, I intend to bring a rebranded website together out of those three products. That's the idea. And then going forward, clearly I want to create other ways of reaching the market. My initial market approach will be direct. I will be sending emails and I will be calling people, finding their names and calling people. And this landing page is to help me present my, the first thing they're going to say, well, what do you do? Let me see what you do. So this landing page is about that, and it's very focused on that corporate headshot business, and it's aimed at small to medium firms with somebody who takes care of that stuff. It might be a dedicated person, it might be not. Largely, professional people, accountants, lawyers, professional firms with 5, 10, 15, 20 people in them. Somebody gets to handle that, and I'm going to approach those people with an email and with a call, and then direct them to the landing page, invite them to a 30-minute call, much like we're having now, and from there I hope to sell them my product.
Brilliant. And in regards
to that brief that I sent you, is basically brings all that together. It brings together my research of people I like, people perhaps I don't like so much, what other people are doing, and also the images that I initially can dedicate to this landing page. Obviously, that will develop over time, and the landing page and that presentation will change over time too. But for now, this is what we've got. I think it's a reasonable start.
And I guess, like, in terms of the website right now, then, so do you find, are you getting business coming through the website right now, or not really?
I mean, I have had, it's always the same thing. When I was a kid, I used to do a lot of hitchhiking.
Yeah.
And you'd stand on the side of the road for hours and hours and hours, and and then someone would take you across Europe.
Yeah.
And it's a bit like that. So out of the blue, Goldsmiths University phoned me.
Oh wow. Yeah.
They saw the website, and I've done some fairly regular work with them since, and good too. So, but by and large, it doesn't bring me a lot. What it does do is, when people talk to people or whatever, and some kind of an introduction that comes outside of the website, well, what do you do? This is what I do. Oh, these are nice pictures, and so we can go from there. That's really what it is. It's a kind of showcase. It doesn't bring me a huge amount of work directly.
Okay. And what about in terms of, so when you're looking for business, have you got an outbound strategy already? Are you reaching out to new businesses right now, or is it just something that you want to move to in the future?
Reaching out to businesses is exactly what this landing page is about.
Yeah, and are you currently doing that right now, or not?
I have done it with the real estate, with the real estate landing page, absolutely, and it has brought me some limited success.
Yeah, okay.
But I think the marketplace is much more, so for instance, if you approach an architect, he will say, well, I don't have anything at the moment, please give me a call in 6 months' time. Well, I think that headshots is going to be much, that's happening all the time.
Yeah.
So the real estate is there. It's part of what I do, and but it's not yielding a huge amount at the moment.
Okay, and I guess in terms of how you track that, so let's say there is an architect that's saying, okay, in 6 months' time, please reach out to me. How do you track that right now? Is that through some kind of CRM system, or do you just put a calendar event in or Google your calendar events? Okay, yeah, okay. Have you got any questions, Jasper? For the moment.
You mentioned like cold calling and cold email. Have you done quite a bit of that then so far, or is that what you're looking to start doing?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the way I'm going to approach the headshots. Yeah.
Cool. And so really, just the website would be just a place to showcase your work.
It's not at this stage. It won't be a website. At this stage, it's a landing page.
Just a landing page. Okay. So
yeah, the landing page. The landing page. I don't know how well you know Squarespace, but the landing page is a non-linked page on the website. It is absolutely true. Someone else pointed out that people can find their way around and will be able to. But I don't think the website. I'm not ashamed of the website. It's good, and it shows diversity as well. So if people are curious about who I am as an artist, if you like, then I don't think they're going to be put off by what they see on the website. But they would certainly be confused if I simply directed them to the website now. So the landing page is to make sure that the first message they see is, I am a corporate headshot photographer, and I can supply you with what you need.
Right on.
Yeah, because I've got the website up at the moment, and I guess one of the clear things that I can see there's not a call to action. So if I wanted to reach out to you, or like we were saying, like book a calendar event, we can't do that right now, which is I guess what we want to try and incorporate.
Will absolutely be incorporated in the landing page. The landing page is about so the call to action is 30-minute free.
Yeah,
you want to book, see what you like. You want to book a shoot.
Yeah.
But the call to action is it gives a free call. Have a chat, much as we are doing now.
Yeah. Brilliant.
And that's exactly right. I mean, the limitations you see in that website is that it doesn't do what a professional website should do.
Yeah,
it doesn't call people in, and that's the direction I'm going in. But I'm going in a kind of step-by-step thing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I guess obviously, have you got any more? Have you got questions, Jasper? You're good?
I didn't know if you were going to hit on this, Ritesh, but Nick, do you have any example websites of other photography businesses that you absolutely love?
I do. I put that in the brief, which I sent to Ritesh.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
I can.
Those links are there. All those references. So I directed you to, for instance, in that brief to my account. Yeah, there we go. I mean, she's really cool. I think she's really good.
Yeah.
But it kind of shows that we're in Canada here. She's not a direct competitor, and in order to find, I'd say there are about 4 or 5 people out there globally that I think, and she's a very different. This is very different. She's operating in a geographical space where she's providing a range of products that I am not really offering. So she is a kind of constituency photographer. If you want your baby photograph, you go to her. If you want your professional headshot, you go to her. If you want your wedding photographs, you go to her. So she's much more broad-based than I am. But aesthetically and professionally, I think she has a lovely approach. It wouldn't be the approach that is appropriate for this landing page. But, just little touches like the overlapping image. It's not all blocky. I worry about things. I'm not quite sure about that approach. But, by and large, it's a nice approach.
Yeah. So I really
there
like.
Are others. There are 4 or 5 others.
Yeah.
Some I've referenced because they do things that I don't like. The images are messy. There's no aestheticism to the way the images are presented. This is very nice. A touch of it's all very clear, but we've got some kind of what's the word? By overlapping some of the images just slightly and just these little touches, it's a nice presentation. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like this website. I thought it was very slick. I like the the color scheme and how it's
Exactly.
organized. Yeah. Do you have branding at the moment, or are you looking to get some branding done? What does that look like?
What do you mean by branding exactly?
Like logos,
I don't have a logo. No.
color scheme, all that. Okay. And
No.
are you, yeah. And are you kind of okay with freestyling that a little bit, like letting us decide if you go ahead with this to kind of choose a color scheme, or would you have someone else that would do that for you, maybe the branding side?
No, I don't have anybody who would do that for me.
Yeah.
I think it's fairly simple. I mean, if you look at this website, it's pastel colors. It's certainly not traffic light colors.
Yeah.
What do they call neon colors? I'm not a neon type of guy.
Yeah.
It's much more set back than that. These kind of pastel colors, lovely. Understated but confident is how I would describe my brand.
Yeah.
I don't have to shout. I just do it.
Yeah. Brilliant.
And I think that's the beauty. Like I said, I've been in different businesses, but they've actually always been image led. In the sense that a beautiful picture speaks for itself. Once you can show people, if I don't take good pictures and I can't present good pictures, then I'm in trouble. But if I've got nice pictures, then it's really a few bits of words about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Yeah. That, that's the main thing, isn't it? Being able to show your work and then getting people to kind of jumping on a 30-minute call where you can sell your services.
Exactly.
So in terms of the workflow, you essentially want to be able to have a 30-minute call before you book someone in. Would you want on the website to have someone buy a package off you there and there? Like, no. Okay. So it's always a bit of a pre-call and then.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the text that I presented you with, I've offered something on prices. I'm a little bit, I'm not quite sure how to do that. I haven't really nailed that down, but I'm not. I've done a lot of research, and I still am not. I see what some people do. Some people do this package thing. Would you really do that? And wouldn't it quicker and easier, really? By the time you're going to want to speak to somebody, I think. So I don't think it's a critical issue, really. I think for now, I'm not bothered about the package thing.
Okay.
I think that give people an idea on prices. Do you charge 10 grand an hour, or do you charge 700 an hour? I think you want to let people have an idea of the kind of charges they're going to be in for, and then my approach is give us a call. Let's have a chat. Let's see what you need, and then I can give you a price for what you want.
Perfect. Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, I guess in terms of design, I mean, we can really go any way, really. So, something like this we can definitely replicate. And I guess, we can incorporate a calendar. We can incorporate a contact us form. We can incorporate.
Yeah, so I've subscribed to Calendly, and I want to do that. And I'd also probably want a pop-up facility. If you book a shoot in the next, in May or in June, you get 20% off our listed prices.
Sure.
So I really want to do that because I think initially that would be a good call to action, or a good reason to act.
Yeah.
If I can phone people up and say, oh, this looks good, whatever. Well, we might have something in 2 months' time, or I can offer you a 20% discount now. So
yeah,
I think that would be a good thing to do.
I've actually got another question around your existing. So I know you had some family portraits in there as well. Do you ever reach out back to them just to say, okay, we've got an offer on for that 20% off? If you book in May, have you got some kind of system in place for that?
Well, I mean, in terms of the family portraits, they came through different vehicles, really, and some of them came from kind of platforms, and I've left those platforms. So, and I can't approach those customers directly.
Okay, yeah. I guess what I'm trying to get to is, actually what you can do with existing clients is you could automate, like an email campaign. So yeah, you could send an email out to a family or a client in 6 months' time to say, yeah, we've got this offer on, and it's just something that you wouldn't have to really worry about. It's just ticking in the background. But
I mean, that kind of absolutely automating the process. And I mean, ideally, I'm starting this now, and I want to make it a success, and I'm certainly taking photographs. And the reason for that is perhaps to build a studio in which I'm not the only person, and there are other photographers. Maybe widening out the product base into product photography or things that I don't really specialize in.
Yeah.
And so, building in going forward, absolutely. This website will become a powerful marketing tool, and those background processes whereby we're reaching out to the customers. I would say that aesthetically, I myself get very irritated very quickly with too much pressure, and I wouldn't want my business to do that. I'd want them to be available and reminding people that we're there occasionally, gently. But high pressure stuff is not. It's not the way to go. It's not the way I would want to go.
Yeah, that's fine. Brilliant. Jasper, do you want to jump into maybe a little bit about some of the website design and maybe some of the automation stuff as well, if that's all right?
Yeah, definitely. So based on what you've said so far, Nick, I'm thinking we could go a few different ways with it. The design, I love the design that we just looked at, and we could take that, some of the ideas from that, like the overlapping photos, like you mentioned, and some of the other elements, and make it your own, obviously, and completely design it as the way you would want it. But I'm sharing my screen really quick. Are you guys able to see my screen yet? Looks like, there we go.
Yeah,
there we go.
So this is a completely different niche and everything, not photography, but just the idea I wanted to show you here. So on your website, we could have some sort of pop-up that pops up with some sort of form similar to this one. And I love your idea of the 20% off, because it creates some urgency, like, hey, fill the form in now and book in the next month and get this 20% off discount if you book with me. And so we could have some sort of pop-up form similar to this, but instead of on the page, it would be like a pop-up as they're kind of scrolling down the page, and they could fill it out with their name, email, phone number, any message they had, maybe the dates that they're looking for. We can customize these forms exactly how you'd want it, so you can gather all the information you would need from that potential client. And then whenever they submit the form, we have a system that automates text messages, emails. And so as soon as they're filling out that form, they're getting hit up by you saying, hey, this is Nick. And it'll automatically follow up with them through text and email and try to get a conversation started with them. And if they don't respond to that first text, we can have multiple follow-up automated text messages that seem very personal. We can use the person's first name in the text. Any information they put on this form, we can add that into the text to make it seem like you're the one actually sending that text message. And so I was going to fill your info in really quick, Nick. I'll just do Nick, and then I'll just do, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to do John or whatever for the last name. Doesn't matter. What's a good email for you, Nick? I'm just going to fill this in with your info so you can see how the automation works. It'll trigger off as soon as we submit it. And then what's a good phone number for you? Okay. And then I'll just say, hey, right here. And so when we submit this, do you have your phone on you, Nick?
I do, yeah.
You should get a text message. It should be from it's going to be from a US number, because I have a US number set up, but we can get you a local phone number in your area code in the UK. And so all the text that'll be sending out will come from a UK number. But did that text come through to you from me?
I'm just rebooting the phone. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. I think it should work, because I do have a US number, so it should send, even though you have a UK number. There may be a problem there for whatever reason, but you should get that text message. And anyway, you can kind of see it'll put your first name. Hey, Nick, this is Jasper.
Sure.
But anyway, and then also with that, emails. And so we just want to give you, one, a good looking website, and that's what I can help with on the web design side, but also a functional website that actually can capture leads through a few different methods, right? So the form that we just showed you right there, and then also on the websites we have these chat widgets. Did you see that text come through, Nick, or is your phone booted up yet?
Yeah, I have got it.
Cool. So anyway, that's how that, just a quick example, very basic example of how the automated text messages work as soon as the form is filled out. So that person's getting outreach to you or from you right away as soon as they fill that form out. Same kind of deal with this little chat widget bubble. This is something you see on a lot of websites. It's a little bubble that pops up, and if people have quick questions that they want to send to you, they can put in their name, their phone number, their email real quick, and they can type out a message or a question maybe about your pricing or just some basic things as they're scrolling through your site and seeing your different offers and products and services and things like that. And this can also be followed up by the same type of automation, text messages, emails. It can even it'll send you a text every time somebody submits this, and also a form. So you're notified and you can reach out to them right away and get on a call with them, just different things like that. And then the last one we could include to capture leads on your site is just a booking system. We could incorporate your Calendly system and embed your Calendly calendar onto the site. And it could look something like this, where people could go and straight up, just book an appointment or book a slot for when they need you if they're ready to go right away. So we have a few different, I'd say, levels of lead captures. The form would be more for somebody who maybe is not quite ready yet, but they want to chat with you first. Calendar could be for somebody who's like ready to go right away and they know they want to book with you, so they can select their date, select from the time slots and different availability that you have. And then on the end, they have to fill in their first name, last name, phone number, email, and any additional, notes they want to add, and they can schedule the time, and book the meeting with you. It could be a meeting, it could be a sales call where you try to get them and sell them on your photography services, or it could be they just book right there. And you can we can add payment processing to this if you wanted to, and we could collect payments right through the site, and they had to pay maybe half the deposit up front, and then maybe you charge the other half after you finished. Just stuff like that. A website in and of itself isn't.
Can this be done within Squarespace?
What's that?
So I currently am hosted by Squarespace. Can all this be done within Squarespace?
So we use a different website builder, and the reason for that, Squarespace is not the greatest for SEO, which stands for search engine optimization. The one that
Right.
we use a different website builder that's a lot better for SEO. And the reason we say that is because we want to optimize your website and just forget the fact that this is for a vet. But anyway,
If you guys are wanting to start a website, SaaS business, building websites for businesses and also giving them software along with the website like Ritesh, you can get my free website SaaS masterclass down below. It goes step by step on how to build the websites, and it's completely free, so check it out. And if you haven't signed up for HighLevel yet, which is the software that we use for our clients to build the website and set up all the automations, you can get a 30-day free trial of it down below with my affiliate link. And if you sign up with my link, I'll mentor you absolutely free, just like I'm doing with Ritesh. You can jump on 2 free Zoom calls with me every single week, and I'll give you $10,000 worth of resources absolutely free that'll help speed up the process of building your agency. And if you've already started using GoHighLevel but you want to upgrade to the $297 or the $497 plan, you can also upgrade through my link down below and get the exact same offer. Sorry for the interruption. We'll jump back to the call.
We want to optimize your website for certain keywords so that people in your local area can find you when they type in, which city are you in, Nick?
I'm in South London.
South London. So if somebody's typing in on Google, photographers in South London, we want to help you be found and be noticed. And our goal is to help you get to that first page of Google. And it's not always an overnight thing, right? It's going to take, months and months in order to get to that first page of Google with other competitors that are competing for those spots. But the software we use is very optimized for SEO. And so if we used Squarespace, which is a software, I've done a few websites in Squarespace, but I'm not as familiar with it. And it would just be a harder process for us for what we're used to. But if you have the domain in Squarespace, that's totally fine. We can just connect your Squarespace domain to the software that we use, and it'll be the same basically. And we can still integrate all of this stuff. And we also—
My initial thing is that, what I'm creating at the moment is a landing page, a single landing page.
Definitely. Yeah. And sorry if I said website, landing page, website, you just want a single landing page. Do you want multiple pages like this to go, one for headshots, one for real estate, one for—
That will come later. The initial project is the landing page.
Just the landing page.
Yeah.
For headshots mainly?
Yeah. For headshots, okay. That's what it's for. Yeah, that's the initial thing. Yeah, because I mean that's a very focused commercial vehicle for a very focused commercial aim. And once money starts coming in, then I can build out from that.
Perfect. Yeah, so we'll optimize your website for your offer, meaning we'll help you rank locally for that keyword, headshots, South London, UK, if that's what, we'll do the research in our software. We've got a software that we can do all that keyword research in, and then we can figure out what those keywords are that people are typically typing in to find your service, and we can optimize the text on the website for those keywords. So Google can then read your site, know what you're about, and then they can rank you appropriately for those keywords. And so that's also part of what we do. We want to help you get more online traffic that you don't have to cold call for, that you don't have to send those cold emails for, people that are just reaching out to you, coming to your site, filling out the forms, booking the appointments, sending you messages, etc. So is that kind of what you're looking for, is more of an online presence so people are coming to you rather than you reaching out to them?
Well, you would never say no. I would never, people walking in through the door and asking to give me money to take pictures. Yeah, no, that's fine with me. But I'm just a little bit, what shall I say? I've never really had great experience with that kind of promise. But I have to say also that I've not really spent a great deal of time and money exploring that kind of promise. But if I was to speak candidly and perhaps very directly, I kind of fear that the promise is always greater than the delivery on that kind of SEO sort of stuff. That's my fear. And so with a direct marketing approach, I'm confident with that, because the success or failure simply lies with me. And also it's cheap, because I'm cheap to do that kind of work. To go out the door with camera and not quite so cheap. But in terms of, sitting here and reaching out to people, that also gives me direct access to the research and what people are thinking and why they might buy or why they might not. So my approach initially is to spend money on a direct marketing approach, rather than to go too wide, too broad in that kind of direction, and not be certain of the results. So, and as you yourself said, it can take months. It's not a day-by-day thing, and I stand more chance of short-term gains by doing it myself, by reaching out myself. But going forward, obviously, to build a business which is capable of holding and supporting 2, 3, 4 people, then all those tools will be a must. Absolutely, going forward, that will absolutely be the case. But I need to be clear with you. The initial project is a single landing page focused on corporate headshots, and the means of delivery is direct. It's phone calls and emails direct to a person that I've researched and got their name.
Definitely. And that's in what I just mentioned with the SEO stuff. That's just something we kind of throw in with everybody that we do sites for. We do the basic on-page SEO so that we can get your website readable by Google, so that it knows what you're offering. And we're targeting those appropriate keywords that are going to give you the best chance of getting on that first page of Google.
Well, I understand that that's extremely important, and there's no question that I've been extremely weak on those things, because I haven't been able to put the team together that would help me do it. So I'm very excited about meeting you guys, and definitely, going forward, I want to take it a step at a time. I'm a step-by-step man, and so the initial thing is the landing page. It's a direct marketing approach. We're asking people to give me a call, and we'll have a 30-minute chat, just as I'm doing with you. And from there, I'm going to make a sale. And then as things develop, then these tools and this stuff will all come in. Absolutely.
Perfect. Yeah, so I think it's a great thing to start with the direct outreach, like you mentioned, and then kind of have the SEO working in the background, ranking for you. So eventually you can stop doing the outreach. But yeah, like we said, it's not going to be an overnight thing. And so definitely a good plan, good game plan of attack. But
where are you based? Where are you based?
I'm in the United States. I'm in a state called Idaho. I'm actually right next door to that lady, and I think she was in Wyoming or Montana.
Yeah.
So I'm just like a couple hours drive from her. But yeah, okay. Idaho, we're like bordered with Canada pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely, in the north. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know if you may know like Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. That's like a very beautiful spot in Idaho. And then we've got Yellowstone National Park. That's about an hour away from where I live. So yeah, you probably could tell by the accent. I don't know if you guys think the US accent is cool. I think the UK accent's really cool, but US accent I feel like is just lame. We're just super basic.
No comment, Jasper.
I'm ashamed to say I've never even been to the United States. I've never been there.
Oh wow. Yeah, it's definitely a cool place. Where I'm at is a really great spot for wildlife photography. There's a lot of like grizzly bears, like bald eagles, elk, buffalo, moose. Like a lot of wildlife photographers live near where I'm at, and I actually do photography myself and videography. So
okay.
Anyway, yeah, I shoot with Sony cameras. I've got a Sony.
So do I.
What's that?
So do I.
You got Sony?
Which Sony's?
Yeah.
Which one do you have?
Which camera do you have, Nick?
I've got the A7R4 and the A7 III. I sold all my Nikon kit.
Nice.
Somebody showed me a Sony mirrorless camera, and I've waited 30 years for these cameras.
That's incredible. Yeah, I've got fixed Canon range to 5Ds. But the eye tracking on the Sony cameras are just incredible. I've seen some.
I love the size of them. I started. I started shooting when I was 17. I had what's called an Olympus OM1. If you don't know what it is, look it up. David Bailey used to shoot OM1, and it's just a small. It's the camera that fits in your hands, and you pick up a DSLR. And Jesus, you need to go to the gym to lift it, and it slows you down. So when these Sony mirrorless cameras came out, I just fell in love with them completely, just for the way they handle and put in there. And then compared with the first digital cameras that I bought. you know, those first digital cameras, I used to take slide films, you know, and the kind of dynamic range of a slide, so compared with the digital image of, you know, those initial sensors. I mean, they were just so disappointing. And really, I kind of gave up with, didn't give up with photography, but I was, you know, I was just in that thing, you know, film, and, you know, I couldn't do the digital stuff with the film. I bought scanners and I scanned my slides and did all that. I was just stuck in this place, and I kind of got lost, and 3 small children, and just fell out of love with it, really. And then these cameras came along, and bang, you know, I just
it's insane how much it's all evolved over the last 10-ish years. Yeah, that's good. What's your dream camera, Nick? Have you got a dream camera?
I've got my camera. You know,
Even
the Sony A7 III. I don't know, Jasper, which Sony you got. I mean, I bought the Sony A7R4. The A7 V is just ridiculous. You know, I mean, even the 4, which takes, I think, a 60 megabyte slide. You know, you've just got so much information in there that you run out of space on you run into all sorts of other problems. But so I love my A7 III, but the focus on the A7 IV is definitely better. There is no question about that.
The autofocus.
I've also got a Leica. I've got a Leica Q1. I mean, this is a 28mm Sonylux lens, and I love that camera too.
Yeah.
So I've got my dream cameras.
Yeah.
I don't need anything else.
I was gonna say I got the Sony A7 III right here. This is one of my favorites for sure. I have A7S III, which is a little bit better for videography, but this one is really good for photos. I love it.
Well, I didn't really know the difference when, you know, I bought the A7 III, but I definitely bought the A7R4, which is limited because, you know, I say to people, if I'm taking video, it's because I pressed the wrong button. You know, I just I don't do video. I just do stills, and that could be a limitation in the business too. So, you know, Jasper, you might have to come over and do the videography for the business when we, because I don't do video.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'd totally be down. Never been to the UK before, but I'd love to visit. Sounds awesome.
Once you've seen the sky, I don't think you'd be so keen.
Yeah.
There's no bears or moose wandering around right
here. Yeah.
My son's in Australia though, and he I said to him, there's plenty of things that bite in Australia.
So I've heard. Lots of dangerous animals.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it might be good to, I mean, what I can do, Nick, is maybe send you some pricing of what we're able to do.
I think so. I mean, you take a look at my brief. Take a look at my brief, and give me some ideas about what you think it would take to produce this landing page.
Yeah. And
then we'll take it from there.
I was gonna ask actually, what's your timeline for all of this stuff to get it made and running?
I'd like to get it done sooner rather than later. You know, I mean, this is it's absolutely top of the agenda. I want this landing page, and I'm going to get on the phone and start selling this.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
The average timeline for us, Nick, with the websites that we're currently doing is typically usually around 2 weeks. We tell you to usually give us 2 weeks to get everything final product done. In between that 2 week period, we're going to be back and forth with you. You know, after the first couple of days, we'll send you a rough draft. You can say, love it, hate it, you know, change this, change that, and we'll make all those edits for you over kind of a 2 week period is usually on average how long it takes with the back and forth.
That's very reasonable. I mean, that's absolutely fine.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. So what I'll do is, Nick, I'll send you maybe an email shortly I'll have a chat with Jasper. We'll run through what we think would be the best way to go with this, and then I'll send you some pricing over. Is that all right?
That's absolutely fine. Yeah. And use that brief as a basis, you know, because I think it's really tight, the brief. And so, and if you've got any questions, just let me know. But otherwise, it's just been a sheer joy to talk to you guys. Yeah. And I look forward to many more chats.
Brilliant. Thanks, Nick. Cheers.
Likewise. See you, Nick.
Bye.
Bye, Jasper. Thank you.
Yeah. How'd you think everything went? I thought it went pretty good.
Yeah. Did you think it went well? I couldn't quite tell. He was very, I don't know, maybe I was just reading into it too much. I felt like he might have been a bit too abrupt for me. It was very which is maybe how people are. I don't know. Yeah.
I think it's just his personality type.
Yeah.
But the way that he finished off the call, it seemed like he wants to move forward. So
yeah.
Anyway, but he said it was a pleasure meeting us. He says he looks forward to many more chats. Like, he's sold. Like, he really is. I think it maybe a little bit will come down to the pricing. because he did mention a couple pain points there with like, he's a struggling photographer, but
Mm.
he also has invested previously in, he set a photography course, which I'd
Mm.
imagine wasn't anything super cheap, probably a couple grand there. So he's definitely somebody who wants to invest into his brand and his business.
Mm.
So I think once you send him over the pricing, like he should be a done deal for sure. If it's within his range, and if not, you can negotiate a little bit with him and maybe give him a better deal, because he's really not even looking for anything crazy, just a landing page. So maybe you could drop prices a little bit, because we're not building them a full website. So
No. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That sounds good. I mean, I guess I couldn't quite gauge it. Maybe I was just had a negative Nelly view on it, but no, that's good. I mean, I think I think the discovery part was quite good. I wanted to kind of really double down and try to understand his thought pattern behind like getting this new website. Do you have any feedback on like that discovery part? Was that okay, or
it was
yeah?
perfect. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I do. Just evaluation questions at the beginning. And you asked really good questions. So I think that was
Yeah.
perfect. And it was great because I always have the motto, let the client talk. 75% of the time, you only talk 25% of the time. And you did that perfectly. Like he was talking the majority of that time,
Yeah.
which really allows him to like put out there what he's looking for. And people just like to talk. And I could tell he was a talker. So that's what
Yeah.
you want to let them do. So they feel more, comfortable, and they can express everything they're looking for, and you can better solve the problem that's at
Yeah.
hand. So anyway, you did really, really good. And yeah, you didn't even need me, man.
You say that, man. I don't know. It's kind of like feeling it, inside my stomach for sure, man. But yeah, no, that was good. I guess like I'm. Have you got any other feedback about the call? The only thing that comes to my mind now is maybe I should have spoken about pricing on the call and get him to make a decision then and there, or at least like what you've mentioned in the past, which is send him out the link, and then if he decides to go ahead, then he's got that option there. But I guess I just wasn't too sure, because my prices for that middle package, I was a bit like, oh, that's actually going to be quite a lot of money for what he's asking for. So yeah.
I think you made the right move, because like you said, he wasn't like, the packages you have, those are for like full-blown websites. And if we showed him that, it could like maybe have scared him away. And so I don't think you charge him as much as those prices, like the 1,000 pounds, 2,000 pounds, 3,000 pounds setup fees. Like that might be too much, maybe 1,000 or somewhere in that range, just for the one landing page. And then the monthly, whatever you feel would be right for that. And then, yeah, it could have scared him away or turned him off if you showed that based on what he needs. He just needs something super easy. And it'd be like, a couple hours of work for you to set up something like that. So nothing crazy. And yeah, I think it went really, really well. That's very seldom at the end of a call like that somebody's like was really excited, and happy to chat with you like that after a sales call.
Yeah.
And he mentioned, he's like, I'm not the guy that's going to try to force something down my client's throat on those calls. He's like, I'm not like the high pressure sales guy or whatever. And so and he said he doesn't like that when people pressure him into things. So I think he made the right play at the end, not pressuring him into, showing him the pricing and making him make a decision there, because he mentioned that earlier on the call, and you probably remember that too. But
yeah, that's good. Yeah, geez. There's this thing, like, for sure, and I've done loads of these kinds of sales calls, not for myself, but for other business like Apple and the other software company. And just listening is such a big part of this, because I feel like actually what you mentioned there, yeah, I heard it when he said it, but the only reason I didn't talk about pricing at the end was because I just felt a bit uncomfortable talking about it. Not because he was, he didn't like that pushy approach, but I think this reminds me of like why listening and, really understanding your customer is so important. So yeah, no, that's good, man. Thanks for jumping on.
it can sometimes it can have the inverse effect if you are
Yeah.
too pushy at the end, for people like him that don't like
Yeah.
the pushiness. And it was very laid back the whole time. It was very conversational, just like pretty much we're having a conversation, asking questions to him the whole time, and mainly you, just a tiny bit from me. But yeah, like sometimes if you're too pushy at the end, they'll say no, and then it'll take your chance of ever, getting the chance to sell them and get them as a client. So because you weren't too pushy at the end, I think he'll be one of those. And I get these all the time where I'm not pushy at the end, because I'm also not, I don't like to be that pushy guy. If I can tell there's a little bit of tension there and hesitation, I'll just say, hey, let me just send you a link over, and chat with your business partner, whatever you need to do, whatever their objection was, and I'll just leave it there for you, and I'll follow up with you in a few days. And that's really all you need. And I get people all the time that just pay it after, a day later, 2 days later, after they had some time to like look at their numbers, figure out their finances, whatever it was. So with him, you didn't want to push him. I could tell he was a guy that doesn't like that. And he voice that. So
Yeah.
anyway.
Okay, that's good. And then I guess like, you know, we obviously spoke about my offering with the 1,000, 2,000 and the 3. Do you think, obviously I'll modify the, you know, it's a one-page landing page. Would you suggest modifying the monthly payment as well for him? Or would I, because, you know, again, like, you know, I'm just thinking I don't want to lose it because he's, you know, he's like, no, that's too much. What, £200 a month, you know, £199 a month. Yeah. I mean, my overall objective at the moment is just to be able to cover GoHighLevel. Do you know what I mean? Like you know, anything, if I can just get GoHighLevel onto my, you know, onto the next subscription basis, which is whatever that is, then I'll be quite happy. So yeah, what's your thought?
Yeah. Let me share my screen really quick. So this is what I would do if I were in your shoes. So maybe schedule some sort of follow-up call with him, or you could just send him some of these pricings, and you could say, hey, you know, these are our normal prices right here. And this one offers a 3-page website. Is this how you have yours set up too? Similar to this?
Yeah, I've basically copied this. Yeah. 4-page. Yeah, it's exactly the same as this. Yeah.
Awesome. So this is where, you know, he doesn't even need really this plan. Like this is for a 3-page website. This is probably what he's looking to build up to eventually.
Yeah.
And so you could mention that, hey, you know, it sounds like you really just need something very basic. These packages are for like full-blown websites. You know, this one offers a 3-page website for $1,000 setup fee. But for you, you just need the 1 page. And so what we'll do, because you're looking to eventually get a website, right? He'll say, yeah, because he voiced that, you know, I'm looking to eventually expand the website or the page and make it into like a website eventually. But for now, he just wants the landing page. We'll discount this price for you then, because we don't really need to build you that full 3-page website right yet. And then we can just charge you accordingly for every page that we add and any updates that we make and upgrades that we make to your site. And then in terms of the monthly fee, I would probably try to stick with this. I don't know. You could go a little bit lower if you wanted to, but I mean, this is still pretty fair for like everything he's getting, and you're giving him access to the software, which is something we really didn't hit on a ton in the call, but he is interested in doing email outreach and doing cold email blasts. And that's something that GoHighLevel can do. And so he would definitely need GoHighLevel in order to achieve that. So yeah, he would, I think you could easily sell them on the $97 per month, and you could use it as, hey, like this software allows you to send those cold email blasts that you're looking for, manage all of your leads, see all your conversations that have been started. We get you a local phone number in your area that sends those text messages out for you. And, you know, any other software that does everything that our software does would be, you know, multiple hundreds of dollars per month. This is definitely something you've shown that you needed with the cold email that you're going to be doing and email outreach. And so, you know, ours is only $97, which is a steal of a deal. Kind of set that price anchor in his head. Like any other software that does this would be like $200-300 a month. Ours is just $97 a month, and it pairs directly with the landing page that we're going to be building out for you. So anyway, just something like that, and maybe lower the setup fee to like $700 or $600 or whatever. That's at least enough to cover your GoHighLevel subscription for this month. And I can tell you're going to be landing quite a few more clients. Just like if you keep selling like the way you were selling, you'll definitely get more clients, no problem.
Brilliant, buddy. And then, okay, I got another question for you. So I hope that's okay. So you know, you've obviously got the 3 offerings there. For this customer, I'm selling him just on the first offering, right? So obviously, do you mind bringing that screen back up if that's okay?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's right, Jasper. So you know, with some of this stuff I mean, this is the thing, like how would you chop and change some of this? Would you not? Would you just say, no, these are the offerings? So if you do want the Google review automation, let's say, is that something would you ever kind of just add that into the first offer, or not really, or like, you know? I think and I don't know, but maybe I'm being maybe my mindset is a bit you know, maybe I'm not being in abundance so much. Like maybe I'm just like, I just need to get this like first client in. Do you know what I mean? And I'm willing to kind of go above and beyond because, you know, just to get them in. I mean, what would your thoughts be behind that? You know, go above and beyond, and you know, maybe you know, get stressed, or you know, just stick with it, and if it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know, what's your thoughts?
So the setup fees here are based on the size of the website. So that's this top line here, you know, 1,000 for 3-page, 2,000 for 4-page, and so on. The stuff down here, that's the monthly, you know, that's what the monthly is based off of. And so we're still giving him all this stuff right here. And so I would definitely still charge him the 97 because none of that's changing. Really just this part's changing. So the setup fee is what I would change for him. But yeah, if he wants the Google reviews automation, you're the business owner, so you make the decision, right? And that's the beauty of having a business, is like you can give people discounts, or you can mix and match products, and it's super easy with GoHighLevel. You just toggle on and add that automation in for him, and it takes you 5 minutes to do. And so it's really not too much extra work to give him if he like wants this automation, and you
Right.
can use it as leverage to make the sale. What I mean by that is you could say, hey, Nick, also, I think one feature that might be really helpful for you is the Google reviews automation. If you have a Google business profile, just ask him that maybe the next time you chat with him. If he's like, yeah, I do, that's a really great way to grow your business and rank higher on your local Google business profile, so people can find you and ultimately find your website and reach out to you, and you can get more business directly coming to you that you don't have to do outreach for. And so what I'll do for you, normally that would be part of our $197 per month plan. I'll just go ahead and throw this one in for you on the $97 plan. And
Sure.
we'll just charge you the 97, and it'll make it sound to him like you're giving him a sweet deal, adding in some features that normally you would charge more for a cheaper price. And it'll just build your relationship a little bit better with him, and make the sale go through a little bit more smoothly. If you're, you don't have to be that hard guy that's like, these are all of our prices and we have to stick to them. And if you want to, even just this one feature on this one, you have to upgrade to the 197. Just like be a chill dude, and people will appreciate that. I want to work with you forever, So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. You could definitely mix and match, and I do that pretty often. Sometimes, I'll be like, hey, we'll throw in the AI chatbot for you on the 197 plan, if that's something you're really interested in. They're like, yeah, and it just makes them feel like they're getting a good deal,
Yeah, got you. Wicked, Jasper. That's good. That was very cool. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I guess I'll write up an email and send him over some pricing, and then just go from there. And just out of interest, like I would have created this on WordPress. Is that where you would have gone as well? Or I think I once remember you mentioning some other platform.
It doesn't matter. You noticed I never mentioned the name of the software that we use because I didn't know which one you were wanting to use specifically. So I use Webflow. Webflow is very similar to WordPress, though. It's pretty. They're pretty identical. Webflow, my VA prefers using it, so that's what we use. WordPress is just as good. WordPress is great for SEO. They've got a lot of good plugins and tools for SEO in WordPress. So yeah, I think WordPress would be totally fine. It doesn't really matter. You could have built it in GoHighLevel, and you could have done what he was looking for and GoHighLevel too. So it doesn't really matter, I think.
Yeah, and I've got so many questions for you, but I'll try and be good. Like, so GoHighLevel and creating a website within GoHighLevel, can you get the level of for example, that website he sent us of that photographer's, can you go to that level in GoHighLevel in terms of the design? And you can,
Yeah, absolutely. And you may have to do some jimmy rigging. Like what I mean by that is like those overlapping photos that you might not be able to import 4 different photos and make them overlap, but you could make it in Canva, like 4 overlapping photos, and use that as the main image. And so it looks like you built in an overlapping effect in the website, but it's really just one picture. If that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
You can do anything you want inside of HighLevel. You do sometimes have to bring it into like a, Canva and like mess around with it and make the image the way you want. And you can't do it right inside the GoHighLevel website builder like you could in like WordPress or Webflow, but you could still get the same effect, if that makes sense.
Got you. Yeah, because that's something I kind of struggle with. I was like, the GoHighLevel websites do look really good, but if I want to change things, and it does seem quite regimented, but that's a really good way I can work around. So yeah, that's cool.
I've got to get running onto my affiliate call this morning, but great job. Like you did amazing. And I definitely see him buying within the next couple days. So let me know how it goes with him.
I will do.
See you, Ritesh. Have a good one.
Cheers, Jasper. Take care, mate. Bye.
Ritesh is currently in the back and forth process, just lining everything up with Nick and going to collect payment from him really soon. Ritesh did an amazing job on this call, and I know he's going to get tons more clients in the future. If you're looking to start a SaaS agency with GoHighLevel, you can get my free website SaaS masterclass down below. It shows you how to build websites in HighLevel and also set up automations and the things that tie into the websites for your client. And so feel free to check that out down below. And if you haven't signed up for GoHighLevel yet, you can get a 30-day free trial down below with my affiliate link. And if you use my link, I'll be a free mentor to you, jumping on 2 Zoom calls with you every single week for free. And I have $10,000 worth of resources that I've been working on over the past few years that I'll give to you absolutely free. Appreciate y'all sticking through to the end of the call. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.